Hello folks. All right, so this is a real quick review on these Kegels. They are the softest Duramater I could find, and I wanted to try a dance board wheel, which is for dancing boards. I'm not a dancer, but I am a slalom boarder, and I wanted to try really grippy tires just to see how it feels. I can tell you these Kegels are big, fun, and they're interesting. I like them. But they did bite, and it made me change my risers and make them higher. So now I got 1/8 on both sides, and included is a 1/2 inch riser on each side. And I'm going to talk about Kegel versus these in heat. There's the specs. I can barely read it. Anyway, they're 83As. Now, compared to durians, it seems like the polyurethane is even all the way through. The strength is 83A all the way through, and they are with no lip. As you can see, they also have a large inset in there. So when you're turning in these, I thought I was going to feel them bend, but they don't bend too bad at all. They're actually pretty good. There's no lip. So when you slide on something like this, they grip a little more, and you have a little more confidence, I think, in the slide. You know, yeah, you can topside more with these kinds of tires, but I think they're cool. Anyway, these Atlas 40s I'm running right here are really awesome because I'm a 200-pound guy. Sometimes I'm a little lighter, like 193 or 195, but I run heavy, so I have to run heavy stuff, I decided. Here's the extra risers I put on there. As you can see, quite a bit of space between that and the fucking truck. Okay, I did that because these are 40s on the Kingpin. Now, if they were, you know, 48s or something, I'd be able to, you know, I'd probably be happier. I wouldn't have the risers, or maybe I'd just have little risers or something. But I could probably do without the risers. So this is my board right here, real quick. Just go over it real quick. This is how I ride. I use a belly, a homemade belly. It looks kind of gross, I know, but if you look at that, that shit's designed by me. Now, as you can see, the shape of it has two kind of like slight angle hills on each side of the structure, and it really helps my foot out. When I'm moving, I can put my foot in the middle and the gel underneath. There's gelatin under there. I place gelatin things from like the dryer that picks up fur and stuff under there. One's upside down, but it's surrounded by a cup of very hard silicone. And then, you know, anyway, the bottom line is that I run my bellies high, and I make my own. All right, so this one has a kicktail, this particular new board I got, but I'm running these in heats, and it seems to be running really good. I gotta get some skin off, but what I can say is I really haven't had a chance to check the in-heats out enough, but I can say this about the Kegels. They're good tires. They do slow you down a little bit when you're turning hard on them because they change shape right in there. They're so soft. The Duramater is so soft, but they're so big and tough, they pretty much handle anything. And so, like, if you are going to slow down by the morphing of the shape, turning, you barely notice it, and if that's the case, you just straighten out and go fast again. So that's a good thing about these Kegels, is if you really need to, you don't have to slow them so much, because these tires will handle anything, and they'll even get rid of speed wobbles with tires like this. They handle, you know, because a lot of the speed wobbles are caused by imperfections in concrete or asphalt, whatnot. So anyway, and loose trucks. Combination of the two usually is what does it. Your truck's being a little too loose, maybe just a little bit, or one truck versus the other a little too loose, that's all it takes. And a little bump, and you get a little speed wobble when you're going real fast. That's how that works out. So I found out that these work really good to actually prevent them, and so does my fucking giant fucking belly that I make, okay? My giant belly works so fucking good. My foot sinks into it and just makes... and I have two walls of jelly on each side that are also siliconed in, so that when my foot goes down in there, it sinks into that valley and doesn't go out too much at all. And if it does, it barely moves. The whole thing, though, is a gelatin pad basically glued in with silicone and shit. And then I use this drywall netting right there. It works it's real sticky like sand. And then this stuff here is really good too. the stuff used for shelving. Okay, I like that because when I sink my foot in, it just feels like it's part of my freaking shoe, literally. So it rides really good. That's what I'm saying. So this review has been about how did these Kegels work out versus actually my durians. And now these durians are really cool, but the wind is different, and they are softer in the middle and harder towards the edges. So the wind of the polyurethane is interesting with these durians, yet they're affordable. These are expensive, but, you know. And so now I got these in heat on here, and I'm just breaking in the skin. These in heat, orangutan in heats are, 83As like durians, but the urethane is all the way through the same strength. So it's not really complex, but it has no lip, and it's wider than a durian, so it actually has a lot of integrity. It's as in its own right, equally, I would say. So, but these are harder, and these are made for a little more sliding. And I got my purple durians I like to use too. They wear down kind of quick, but I would say overall, so far to date, the best ride I've had on the skateboard has come from, I would say, a little of all of the tires that I've been using. The only ones I did not like out of the tires that I tried out were the rain tires. Now, I don't even know where they are. I had my wreck on my rain tires, and they also had a polyurethane that seemed to be equally strength all the way through. They weren't quite as big as the in heats. They were just wide, and they did have a good feel. But I noticed the more I rode them, the more I noticed I was hitting some weird speed wobble shit, and there's no reason for it. It was like, hey man, the pavement's fucking good. This isn't even, my truck's tight. What's the deal? So I think what happened was the rain wheels were just, they're cheap. Now the rain boards, I mean, it seems like the rain boards are what is good. It's just those particular tires, I don't think I'll use them again. So there's your review gun. And it's not just those tires that got me in that accident. It was also some debris on the side of the road, but those tires just didn't feel like they could handle it. Now, I've had the durians, I could have pulled in a bigger, I could have probably done some things with the durians because I would have been able to slow down a tad just before I turned, and I would have avoided that. So, yeah, that's probably why I didn't like them. And they were red tires. I don't know what the durameter on those rain tires were, but I think they were soft, rather soft and cheap. And so I will say the rain board seems good, solid. The rain tires, not so much. Have a good one.